Hello, everyone. Um, if you might notice, I am there. Really trying to mess with the microphone. I don't quite understand it yet. But anyway, back in the Beetle, and really, truly, the only reason for that is I felt like mixing it up a little bit. Um, keep the battery cycled and all that jazz. And I figure it runs, so why not? Screw it. Today is leg press day. It is also a refeed day. And there's at the gym I'm going to, there's like a plate loaded type, or a pin loaded, like hack squat style leg press. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I just call it the Cybex press because that's the brand of the machine, and I kind of want to give that a shot. Yeah, so anyway, today's a refeed, so I've got a full stomach, I tell you what. Got full of cornflakes and oats and mostly slow carbs. There's a little bit of fast carbs in there too. I had some milk and some honey, the honey I put on the cornflakes because, you need a little bit of sweetness. They're not very sweet at all. The only sugars in them are the naturally occurring sugars in corn, which is dextrose, which is only about 2/3 as sweet as table sugar, like glucose, or whatever table sugar is. I don't exactly remember. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, but it's mostly slow carbs, okay? Mostly slow carbs with a little bit of fast carbs, and just because, we are deep into prep. We are 26 days out, but you still kind of want a little bit of enjoyment in your life, if you will. You don't want to, like, bodybuilding is a tough sport and all that, but you can take respite in treats that fit your macros that aren't that are like beneficial. So, I'm a big cereal guy, but can't really have like Captain Crunch, or I don't really like Captain Crunch, but like Reese's Puffs, Fruity Pebbles you can have a little bit, but they're mostly sugar. Although they are corn based, so, but they do have a lot of added sugar, so that's the thing. But anyway, where was I going with this? But yeah, you can take respite in like little things. Like for me, it was some cornflakes with some honey, and kind of, I don't really have a sweet tooth, but when you get real deep into prep, your body's so insulin sensitive and so craving of anything that, like, even a little sugar starts to sound pretty good. You know what I mean? Like when I'm bulking, I'm really not a big sweets guy. Or when I'm like maintaining or whatever, I've never, I was at one point, but I'm, as I gotten older, I'm not really super into like candy and stuff like that. So, but when you get into prep, I mean, everything sounds good. Everything, you're deep into a cut, everything sounds good. And sugar and sweets and confections and stuff, of course, are not immune to that. Yeah, I get 2 refeeds this week. One today because it's leg press day, and then the other will be in 3 or 4 days, depending on if and when I take a rest day, etc., for my other leg day, my squat day. Per new direction from my coach, I really got to lower the weight that I'm pushing a little bit. Injury risk is, of course, like, that's never constructive or conducive to good health, right? So that's part of it. But the other part is that I'm taking a little bit too long for these workouts, and a lot of that's just like in between sets, and we want to minimize that. So if it requires lowering the weight, then that's what it's going to require. And that's not like the end of the world for me. You can still get essentially the same amount of work done if you just do more controlled reps, you hit a heavier negative, etc. So anyway, so like if I were to do the plate loaded leg press, because you never know how I'm going to be feeling when I actually get there. If I were to do the plate loaded leg press, it would be like I'd want to do like 650 today, because that's up from last week. But what I should do is just drop it down to 7 or even 5.5 plates, just to. And the goal of the workouts, I mean, we're not going to be putting on any more size or strength at this point. It's body fat levels are too low, calorie intake isn't high enough, etc. It's just not like possible at this point. So basically the goal of the workouts now is to get in, stimulate the muscle, tell your body, hey, we still need this, keep it around, and get out, So hit your sets. Basically, don't like speed through them. You still want like good form and stuff, but minimize your rest periods between sets, and really just hammer it and get it done, get it over with, get out of there. So that is the name of the game now. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do. What the heck? Goodness gracious. I got to tell you, man. I see some of the worst driving I've seen in my life whenever I'm filming these videos. And it's honestly a shame that you guys can't see what happens, because woo doggies. Woo doggies. But, yeah, so the interesting conundrum about my refeed days is that, yeah, they're crazy high carb, which is cool. I get to eat a lot of carbs, which I really don't get to do. I mean, on my normal days, I get, I think, like 100 grams total. And on my rest days, I get like 50. So, I mean, that's one thing to celebrate, but I only get 30 grams of fat. So, for the whole day. So trying to find like really low fat carb sources can be difficult. And so that's when you kind of look into, that's why I'm eating cornflakes, because they don't have any fat. Or like oats or Cheerios. They don't really have, they have fat, but like very, very, very little. So that's kind of what you got to play with. And at that point, I get 30 grams of protein per meal. So on my refeed days, my normal day is like 250, and that includes my rest days. But on the refeed days, it's a bit lower, just so you're not slamming as many calories, because like you don't want to be putting it down. If I had an extra 40 grams of protein, that would be another 160 calories, which would put me at like 3,000, which isn't the end of the world. Don't get me wrong. It's still nigh a deficit, frankly. But, yeah, you just, and your body's already digesting a lot. It would just be more volume, more food. You don't want to like stretch out your stomach on prep, because then you're going to be hungrier. So yeah, that's just the way it is, the nature of the beast. And so consequently, when you get all your carbs in, like my last meal had like 110 grams of carbs or something like that, or 140, a lot. Point is, a lot. So by the time I was actually done intaking all of the carbs, I was already at like 20 some grams of protein, and I'm like, oh. So I made some tilapia this morning for breakfast, and so I just had like 30 grams of that, and that put me at my macros. And I'm like, okay, simple enough. I did kind of have to choke it down, I'm not gonna lie, because after you eat that much, other stuff, there's not a lot of room left. So I'm quite full, which is cool. And that's something I want to mention. If you're doing a show, or you're doing a prep, or you're doing a really hard cut, or whatever, if you're restricting your intake and you're restricting your calories, do not chase fullness. Don't be eating like the miracle noodles or the super low calorie stuff or the 0 calorie things. Don't just be pounding bags and bags of vegetables, because your body knows when something is not nutritionally dense. Your brain knows, so you're like, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm going to die. I'm so hungry. What if I just eat like a whole bag of carrots? That's only like 120 calories. You can eat the whole bag of carrots, and it might provide you with like a sensation of fullness, but you're still going to be hungry, because your body's like, okay, well, that's great and all. We got a ton of fiber, a ton of cellulose, a ton of stuff that doesn't actually help. We still need food. But now you have a full stomach, and your stomach's going to get stretched out. And that's both like an idiom and like a scientific thing. Like, it literally does physically stretch, but like figuratively it stretches out so that you're still hungry. Anyway, that was a mistake that I made severely during my first prep. I was like, I can just game the system. I'll just eat all this 0 calorie food, and I'll just eat a bunch of volume, and then I won't be hungry ever. I'll just be okay, because I've got so much food, No, wrong. Made everything worse. I was hungrier. I just didn't think about anything except food. I developed like a pretty severe eating disorder off of that. So, and I think that's like part of the game. If you're doing your first show, you're gonna have a lot of mental so yeah, but try to minimize that. If you're gonna be doing a hard cut, a hard prep, a show, don't chase fullness. The other thing I'll say is don't calorie backload. It's not El Camino. That's cool. Don't be chasing don't save all your calories for the end of the day so you can have a big giant meal before you go to bed. It's not going to help you. And during the day, you're just going to be burning away extra muscle because you don't have any fuel in your system, so your body's going to hit reserves. And although, you're trying to burn fat, when you get really deep into prep, into a cut, your body becomes less discriminate about what it's burning. And consequently, you're going to lose more muscle if you don't space your meals out. So even if you think, or that's what you prefer to do, and you're like, I just like eating a really big meal at the end of the day, it makes me feel better. It's damaging, and it's not conducive to what you need to be doing. So space your meals out. Whatever you do, 4, 5, 6, 7, space them out evenly throughout the day. Load most of your carbs before/during your workout, and load most of your fat before you go to bed. Helps you sleep, and your body does a lot of lipolysis while it's sleeping, so that'll help you not store it as much. So those are that's just my little tips. Somebody who's been through it. Don't chase fullness, don't calorie backload, and space your meals out evenly. There you go. If you're still struggling with hunger, another tip, and you should be drinking a gallon of water every day anyway, but another tip is right before you eat, drink a whole liter of water, 16 ounces, just slam it, okay? And then while you're eating, try to drink another one throughout your meal, okay? And that'll help with satiety. At the end of the day, nothing's going to be perfect. You're always going to be hungry. That's the nature of the beast, unless you have a refeed like I do. But you can take steps to mitigate that. So don't go crazy. It's a show. it might be very important, but it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth your physical health to a degree. And you don't want to have, and you want to look your best. You want to bring the best package you can to the stage. So that's my advice. Anyway, getting in the zone here for some legs. I'm gonna get in there, hop on the treadmill, get my joints warmed up. I already did cardio, so we're good on that. And just get cranking. All right, I'll see you guys in there. All right, so I've got the pin loaded, the horizontal leg press, I guess is what this is technically referred to as. And I gotta be honest with you, this thing is really freaking heavy. These old school machines don't play, dude. So, because I was like, I'm doing like 600 pounds on the plate loaded. I'll try 400 on this, because each pin is 20 pounds. Dude, that thing was not moving. And then I dropped it to like 300, and I got one and almost like died. So I've got it down at 260 now, and we're gonna hit a nice set of 8. Going for some control here, some smooth reps. But damn, these things don't play. They knew what they were doing in the 80s, I'll tell you that. Except for cars, they didn't know how anything was good back then. All right, here we go. I'm not going to count the first rep, even though it's the hardest, because that's how you get set up. So here we go. Let's go. Go. Come on. Dive up. Come on, slow control. Squeeze. Come on, still moving. Yep. Come on. So slow down. Control it. Yep. Come on. Dig for it. Okay. I think that was 10 or 11, but yeah, same weight. All right, round 2. We're just chasing a burn here, and let me tell you, the burn has been achieved. So let's do it again. Don't look at the upskirts, you perverts. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. Definitely a burn. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it wasn't like the massive, heavy lift that I usually do, but definitely got a burn in. Different style of lifting. The jury's out. Ah. Okay, RDLs, 2 sets of 12. I got a different setup today because the rack job, this is the most crowded I've ever seen in this gym. To be fair, there's only 8 people here, but that's pretty crowded for this gym. So do with that info what you will. All right, as always, first rep. Well, I think the first rep will count on this if my setup is correct, and I can be the mental judge of that, you know. Oh. All right, square up and set up. All right. Okay. Not bad. Goodness gracious, yeah. I have a lower back pump for the ages, which is suboptimal for this exercise, frankly. But bigger jobs. Anyway, let's finish it out so we can get on to the extensions and curls. Chase some more burn. I'm stretching out a little bit. Little tight. All right. Damn. Yes, sir. Okay. Move on. All right, so those RDLs might be a little bit of what my coach was talking about. Woo, because they super gassed me. So maybe it might be prudent to drop the weight a touch on those just so I'm not totally gassed afterwards. Anyway, time for the fun part, which is 2 sets of 20 on stendos. And I have 120 on the machine, which
it is honestly heavier than the full stack on most pin loaded machines. These old machines don't play, boy. Here we go. One, two, three. Give me 1 second. This seat doesn't feel right. All right, so leg extensions. I already did one set, but my phone ran out of storage. So just have to take my word for it. But I promise you, I did them, and they sucked, and I almost died. And 120 on the bar. As we all know, this machine, 120 on this is the equivalent of like the stack on most pin-loaded leg extensions. So I got a set of 20 here. Honestly, I don't know if I have that in me. But there's only one way to find out. Whew. My heart is pounding after that last one. But we're chasing the burn, baby. Chasing the burn, burning the fat, fattening the burn. Cancel the last one. All right. I'm just wasting time here. This is gonna blow my boys. Blow. But one way to do it, and that's to get it done. Easier when it's over. God. Okay. Easy day. Damn, I was agonizing. All right, I got leg curls next. All right, leg curls. I'm losing it. But we just got to keep it moving. I don't think I'll get 2 sets of 20. I don't think I'll get 1 set of 20, even with lowered weight. But we're here to get what we can get done. So let's do it. Oh. Ow. Okay. One more. All right, let's wrap this up. Huh? Oh, shoot. I think I only got 16 on the last one. All right. Damn, I got nothing left. All right. I'd say that was a good leg day. Let's try to jump this camera down a little bit. It's a little high up. There we go. Get you guys a good leg view here. Okay. So, no flex. This is just kind of the pump. See some good veins coming in. Or, I mean, they're already there. They're just getting deeper, I guess. This side's not quite as caught up. But, honestly, I'm like inches from throwing up right now. So, I'm trying to be a little gentle on the flexing. But, regardless. See if we can get some sort of hamstring going. Oh, goodness. Woo! Stay conscious, boys. Not a good look to pass out. Does not get the ladies. But, yeah. Overall, decent leg pump. Decent. Not to do the usual YouTube spiel, but I do appreciate you guys' comments. I try to respond to as many of them as I can, which isn't that bad. Not too many of you out there. Please, if you do feel so inclined, spread the word. Show your friends, show your buddies, show your family. Put it on your gym's TV. Put it on your high school's TV. Hack the White House and give it to them. Whatever. Anyway. Might see you tomorrow. Might take a rest day. The world never knows. The mystery continues. I'll see you guys next time.